Hello there! I'm Scotty. You're not. Yes, I have the air conditioner on this time because I don't have to keep on turning it on and off. If it gets to be too much, I'll turn it off. But, uh, welcome back to the Goosebumps reviews. I'm going to take a look at Night of the Living Dummy 2! And you may be saying, Scotty, you haven't done the first one. Or do you not own that one? They never made an episode on the first Night of the Living Dummy. Let me tell you why. I've looked through this book. I've looked online for the reasons why. Apparently, when they were making the episode, they thought that the story was too boring and wouldn't work as a TV episode. Upon my own personal, looking at how the story works, it's because Slappy's not the main antagonist. I'm pretty sure that's why. Because he's not. In fact, the story of the first book is that there are twin sisters named Lindy and Chris. Lindy finds Slappy in a garbage dump, a dumpster, and takes him home. Out of jealousy, Chris gets another ventriloquist dummy named Mr. Wood. Mr. Wood is the antagonist of the first book, and Slappy doesn't come to life till the end after they've defeated Mr. Wood. And he pops up saying something like, well, I'm glad that guy's gone. So, yeah, Slappy's not the main antagonist, despite being on the cover, and this is Slappy. But the fact that if you've seen the episodes that Slappy's in, you'd say, Slappy doesn't look like that. No, he does not. He does in the movies though, and in the version that they have, the Hulu Disney Plus version. So that's the first one. Brief talking about. I don't think I've ever read through that one. I know I read Bride of the Living Dummy, Goosebumps 2000 series. So there's 3 books in the main series: Night of the Living Dummy, Night of the Living Dummy 2, Night of the Living Dummy 3, and then there was 2 books in the Goosebumps 2000 series: Bride of the Living Dummy and Revenge of the Living Dummy. They never made Revenge of the Living Dummy into an episode. It kind of ends with Bride of the Living Dummy when it comes to the TV episodes, but yeah. And then they had the Goosebumps Horrorland had one called I don't remember what it was called. But then they just did Slappy World, and so Slappy became the star of the Goosebumps franchise, because he's got to be in everything now. So this particular episode though is based on the second book, Night of the Living Dummy 2, which is what we're talking about. We meet this family: middle child Amy, young older sister Sarah, and younger brother Jed, or Jet is what they keep sounding like to say, but apparently it's Jed. I don't know. The Kramer family. They have this thing called Family Night, where they basically like a show and tell / talent show once a week. Sarah has a picture, a painting, that Amy claims she brought the last week. Maybe she wasn't finished with it. Amy's ready to go next, but they said no, Jet gets to go next. And in the means of the episode, Amy has to go last because of what happens with the performance, and she gets the dummy, and that ends the family thing. But what order are we trying to go to with kids? So if you're going oldest to youngest, which is never how it goes, because every time it's the younger you are, you get to go first. Every time you're playing a board game or taking turns in video games, youngest goes first every time. I don't know why. The oldest should always prevail over the youngest. But I digress. So if we're going in this particular order, you never go oldest, youngest, middle, or youngest, oldest, middle. You gotta go either oldest, middle, youngest, or youngest, old, middle, youngest, middle, oldest. Excuse me. So to start, like I said, the only reason why they do this is because Amy has to go last for the plot to progress right. So we get Jed's spying video where he's spied on everyone doing things. The dad's putting on a toupee, the mom's eating fatty food. Spied on Amy stealing a shirt from her sister, the same shirt her sister is wearing now. Yeah, all with the instrumental version of the Goosebumps theme song playing in the background. Yeah. Of the videotape that he has. It's playing. Yeah, I don't know. And he doesn't get in trouble for it. Amy's turn. She has a dummy named Dennis, which breaks in the middle of her performance. Her dad, a dick of a man, is like, oh, well, she's like, told you I need a new one. Well, I got you one. And apparently he found it at a pawn shop, which is from the second book. I looked it up. But here's the thing, you douche. Why didn't you tell her, hey, before you go on, I got you a new dummy? Instead of letting your daughter embarrass herself. There's a lot of the middle child gets the worst experience. And in my family, well, no, let's not go there. My sister had her own terrible experiences, and it had nothing to do with being the middle child, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, so, but it would seem that the middle child always gets shat on, but what they don't tell you is that it's not all sunshine and roses for the oldest child either. Alright? You think when they're the middle child, they just get neglected. But the oldest child kind of falls on you to be the one who teaches your younger siblings how to do things, to look out for them, to watch them. You're basically in charge of them. And, you know, you can't always do that. You can't always guarantee you can do that. Not because you don't want to, but, you know, you have your own issues, you know. I'm just saying. So she gets this new dummy called Slappy, finds a card in his pocket, and immediately reads the words that are on there, which brings Slappy to life, but he doesn't come to life in front of people. He proceeds to then start making Amy's life a living hell by framing her for stuff. Like a week passes, and they're doing her so this whole thing with the family night happens, and it's like later that night that Sarah shows up and is like, hey, stay out of my room. And I'm just like, why did you wait this long to say it? And she's practicing with Slappy. Slappy almost starts talking by himself, but doesn't. And then she goes to bed. You know? Well, it does start talking by itself, and she notices it. But then just sets it next to Dennis. And then Dennis seemingly just falls on the floor. And she just puts Dennis back up and goes to sleep. I'm like, no, there's something going on here. What are you doing? What's going on? But, then we cut to a week later, they're already doing another family night. And when it's Amy's turn, she gets to go second this time, apparently to us. The dad sings a horrible song, and then she gets to go. What is the order here? I don't know. And Slappy basically makes fun of everyone, and they think she did it, and she can't get the dummy off her arm. And, yeah. I guess I should have started with, I prefer Night of the Living Dummy 3 over this one. Oh, I think Bride's not better than this. But Night of the Living Dummy 3 is better. And you gotta believe the reason why they were so in on this is because Chucky got popular. You know, this was 95 when the movie came out, when the episode came out, I should say. But then Chucky came out in 1990. Then Bride of Chucky came out in 1998. You know, it's weird though because the show only went to 97, right, or whatever it was, and there was a Goosebumps 2000 series that was still in the 90s because they adapted a couple of episodes of those books, Bride of the Living Dummy and Cry of the Cat. Cry the Cat's not bad. Anyway, so we see that someone's walking down the hallway with something that's dripping something. And we find out it is Slappy, who stands in front of Sarah's painting. The next morning, Sarah wakes up and freaks out. Somebody painted stick figures on the painting. And because Amy just so happened to find the paintbrush in the hallway, I have an issue with this. So everyone else but her comes running in and sees this and freaks out. Then Amy comes walking in with the paintbrush, right? And Sarah immediately starts blaming her for it. Amy says, "No, I found this in the hallway." No, I didn't do it. I found this in the hallway, not the book, the paintbrush. I found this in the hallway. It was in the hallway. And everybody still blames her for it. The issue here is that everybody else came from the hallway. If it was lying in the hallway, everyone else would have seen it lying in the hallway when they went to go to Sarah's room. Therefore, they should, instead of keep on blaming her, the parents and Jed should be like, yeah, it was in the hallway. We saw it laying there. Although, you could say she just left it there. But again, why would she leave it there, then pick it up again? And incriminate herself even further. Right? I don't know. And she knows that Slappy is alive by this point. Slappy makes things worse. She has enough, so she decides to dispose of the doll by throwing him down a sewer main. The sewer hole, yeah. I don't know what that was supposed to accomplish. Destroy it! What are you doing? And then Amy comes home, and Sarah is mopping the floor, and she goes, "Tell Jed to stop walking through the house with dirty shoes." And you see footprints that are clearly not Jed's, but Then that night, there's another occurrence before this, before she puts Slappy down. I remember what it was now. The night that they accuse her of doing the painting, she keeps trying to tell them that it's Slappy. So she sees Slappy about to smash the dad, really old Jeff Jarrett, over the head with the guitar to the dad, and she stops him, but breaks the guitar. They, of course, still don't believe her, despite that Slappy was standing right fucking in front of them, pardon my language, right in front of them when she tackled him. But they're like, "What are you doing? You broke my guitar. Go to your room." And then they want her to see a physiatrist. Because they phrase it like this: "Well, if you really think," ooh, did I get it? I felt it when I if you really think that the dummy is doing all this, then maybe you need to get some help. If that ain't the most passive-aggressive way of saying, "You're nuts, go see a shrink," I've ever heard. As if this could never actually happen, and thinking that this is going to happen. And this is like 2 episodes in a row where someone's trying to explain to them something's going on, and they just don't believe them. And I don't think that's going to stop here, but I digest. So, fly's still going around. I almost had it. I felt it in my hands when I did that. Anyway, so that's when she throws him down the sewer, and he comes back and he's like, "You can't get rid of me. You never stop me." And then that night the parents go out, and it's just the kids left. And then so he has a confrontation. They have a confrontation with Slappy, the two of them. But Sarah walks in time to see Slappy alive. He just says he's gonna keep on making her life miserable because they're the slaves. Somehow, I don't know if that's referenced, because one of the things at the end of the book I read here. Okay, here. As she leaned over the chair to grab the window frame, Slappy reached up and grabbed her arm. Hey, slave, is the other guy gone? The dummy asked in a throaty growl. I thought he'd never leave. Yeah. So, slave uses that. I don't know if that's explained more in there. I don't know, because Slappy's not the main antagonist there, so I don't know. But, by the way, I love the voice I did. It sounded like... So, now he's chasing him through the house. And again, like with Chucky, he's a dummy. Kick him. Stomp on him. Just, Chucky's worse because he's a killer doll possessed by the spirit of Charles Lee Ray, the serial killer, the Lakeshore Strangler, who has never strangled anyone because he has knives, stabbings, and stuff. You know? And that, like, he has the power of Damballa that makes him stronger, but he's also has a human brain to make him think. You know? And I know there's lore about it. You watch the newest Goosebumps show on Disney Plus and Hulu to know about his background, right? He was human, and he was turned into a puppet by a magician, that sort of thing. I don't think that implied here. I don't think that was the backstory yet. It's just a puppet that comes to life. But these little girls are hiding from him. Or trying to, because they're screaming and stomping through the house trying to hide from this dummy. Then when they think they got rid of him, they realize, oh no, Jed, we have to go help him. And then Slappy's hanging from the ceiling, I guess, and comes after them. And just when you think Slappy's going to get him, someone tackles him and smashes his head on the mantle of the fireplace. Or the bottom of the mantle. Whatever but yeah. And then the parents come in and they're like, come home right then. They're like, what happened? Oh, Slappy tried to get us, but we're safe now thanks to Jed. Jed comes down the stairs. Huh? What are you talking about? What's going on? I didn't save you. Only for it to reveal that it was Dennis. Oh, I'm glad he's gone. Now we can be a family again. And then it ends, and I'm just like... And that is also the ending of the second book as well. So he used the... Because when I was watching, I'm like, oh, they just took the ending from the first one and pasted it here, but it's Dennis instead of Slappy. They switched it. Even though it's still technically the second dummy they got is the one that's evil and possessed. But I don't think Slappy was the one that tackled him, though, in the original. So, I don't know. But no, then I looked up the ending of the second book, and it is the same ending. So, still prefer the third one. I'll give it 3.5 curly skulls out of 5. I think it's decently done. It's campy, which I like, but also it just kind of fizzles out. And when you really start thinking about, like, it's one thing for one of the kids to be running from it, but when you got, wait till we get to the third one, I'll talk about that one, because that one just kind of makes no sense to me. I like it. It's my favorite one, but still, if they used any logic in this would be done. Like, there's two of them. Stomp on him. Take him down. Use one as bait, or the other one tackles him and smashes him. I mean, come on. But no. So, what are your thoughts on Night of the Living Dummy 2? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.